let's go ahead and welcome the most iconic woman to ever live, Trixie Mattel.
Thank you.
Of course.
Since everybody's muted, we're gonna do the applause of the non-hearing community.
Yes.
Yes. Fabulous.
Thank you,
So let's get started. I wet this little sponge. I got this from this complexion kit, and I'm gonna go in with the daily and start smudging it all over my face. And I feel like this is like the first time I've done makeup live, and nobody believes me that I put all this makeup on in literally like an hour and 15 minutes, but I'm not kidding. It only takes me that long.
Do you use a primer or just moisturizer?
Oh, it depends on the day. Like my skin's so dry that
I feel you.
when I use a primer, it's usually for texture and not for wear, because my skin's not dripping with oil, so makeup stays on me pretty well. And I actually use in drag, I'm gonna show you here, you're gonna be gagged, I mostly use liquids. And I mostly use drugstore liquids.
People are asking about your brows because you did them off camera to save some time.
Yeah.
What did you use to do your brows?
I just use glue stick, and then at the end of the gluing process, I take this is a face powder that's pressed that I pull all my face powders out of the shell, and I put them in like, you know, something like this, because this is like what I take on tour, so it's all my face colors and then all my blushes. And then I just do the glue. I mean, I could explain it, but I see some of you guys already doing it, so and I just do the glue. I mean, I've been doing it for 13 years, so you're working with a product that's not makeup and not made for your face, so it just takes practice. This is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Spray. My skin's so dry. I know that on the internet, people have an obsession with setting sprays.
Oh.
I have a much deeper obsession with setting sprays as a primer.
Yeah.
So I'd rather spray something onto my face as like the insurance or the health of it than think that something at the end does something. Because if your skin's prepped right, you won't need this like shellac at the end. I don't know, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the primer. This is the same, this is the Pretty Fresh primer.
Love that one.
This sponge, this spray, and this thing all came in this. Look at that. They all came in one.
Yeah.
I use a couple different things, but I'm going to use Maybelline Superstay in 120 Classic Ivory. It is full coverage.
It covers, everything.
I'm going to cover my eyebrows with this. That's foundation from the drugstore. I think that's amazing. This is just a slightly lighter than my skin. I mean, for drag, I usually like to go a little lighter because I'm gonna do so much shading. This is 310 in Sun Beige. It's just deeper. And this is the one, if you guys saw my Maybelline video, that I accidentally used that was way too dark. But I like the mask of my face to be really light. And then, you know, because let's be honest, you guys know where this makeup's going. We're carving all these hieroglyphics into our face. It doesn't really matter what we start with, but I think it's easier to start when your face is kind of all one color. We're gonna do kind of the new Trixie makeup where it's just lines and like one shade. Because the new Trixie makeup is so easy. I mean, I've been doing it with like one eyeshadow, which is, I mean, anything to save time. Because we prime the skin, the foundation's gonna stay wet for a second. And so in normal makeup, you use eye primer, but for me, I just use the wet foundation as shadow primer. So like, instead of powdering and then doing eyeshadow, it's like all tacky, so I just let the shadow stick to that. This whole makeup is built on a liner, so I like to start with the black template because then I know what the shape and size of the rest of it's gonna be. You guys are gonna laugh because I do this really fast.
You guys, winged eyeliner alone, just a simple little wing, takes a long time.
I know, I got put in like this meme that was going around that was like, just a simple wing today, and it was me with like this, you know, like when you're trying to even it out. So I go out to about there because my wig gets glued down right here. So I've had to learn the hard way. If I go too far out, my hair covers my makeup, which isn't a relatable problem, but it is a very real problem. And then I go in to the corner of my eye, and that's gonna be the outside. And then when I look forward, I just wanna, like this is my real eye. I want to make sure that when I'm looking forward, the liner's visible, but I don't want to go too high. And then in the inside, I'm going to continue this. I like pick a point here and I just connect it. And this is just a template. And that's going to be that side. And then on the other side, I just try to match. But like my makeup never matches. I mean, I would love for it to be symmetrical, but it never is. That's why like in a lot of pictures, I'm usually to the side because straight on it never matches. That's a skill. We all struggle with things in makeup artistry. Mine is symmetry, big time. Big time.
We could all relate. Trixie, someone wants to know, which I want to know the answer to this too. Do you have any advice for people who are scared to do drag in public? Because I know a lot, you know.
Oh, I think it's scarier when you think about it. It's scarier to be yourself in public, you know? And you're somebody else. I mean, think about it. You could be the worst drag queen anyone's ever seen. When you go wash your face, no one's gonna know it was you. I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna proceed, if that's okay with everybody.
Yes.
I have to use this color. This Take a Sip color, that middle color, look at that.
Love vibrant hot pink.
Have to use that. So I'm gonna take this little brush from this, I'm using this set.
Oh yes, our ultimate brush roll.
So I'm gonna take a sip. And I fly through this makeup, you guys. I know that there's gonna be a white line here, right? So I can be pretty gratuitous with this because we're gonna clean it with a line. Look at that, like strawberry red color. Ugh. Because eyebrows are covered, it took me so long to realize this, you guys. You can't, when I do eye makeup on normal eyes, it's a lot of windshield wiper motions, but because we're putting makeup on glue, it helps a lot more to just pad.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to dig up what you glued down. Ooh, I'm gonna use this too, this woke color.
Love that.
Because at the ends, I don't want to take the red all the way to the end, so I'm gonna use this more beigey red color to take to the ends.
Love it.
Like that. Easy. And that's one eye. I'm just gonna take a little fluffy brush with that woke color, which is a little lighter, and just to buff the edges.
People really want to discuss brows again. They're saying they're struggling. They're kind of in step one.
Oh, girl. I mean, gluing your eyebrows down, that is a whole journey, and there's a reason why professionals are professional at it. It'll just take you practice. I like to brush against the grain and then brush the glue with the brow, and then I let them set for like a minute at a time. Glue layer, set, glue layer, set, glue layer, set. And then I know I'm disgusting, everyone's seen me do this. I lick the glue stick on the last step, and the moisture in your saliva helps seal the deal. But you know, the TRIXIE makeup is based on like 60s like Twiggy makeup. You can just scale it down on a real eye. It still would be beautiful makeup on a normal person.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna touch up this side, and then I'll get in close to the camera so you guys can see, like, I think it's important to see the shape, but also how the shape wraps around my liner. Because everything in this makeup is built on the liner. It's really the anchor. Don't laugh at my symmetry, because it's probably not right, but this is me right now. And you see how on the ends, it just sort of feathers. We don't need to bring the red all the way out. I'm gonna take a sip again, and I'm gonna start wrapping that around. Now, the TRIXIE makeup, this is all gonna be white. So then I just imagine what's gonna be under that. Just like about there. It's good to start with all these shadow colors because so much of this makeup is black and white liner. That's where you can go change and fix really anything. And sometimes I close up the end, sometimes I pull out. Today I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
Like that, to Mary. It just is a different look. Sometimes when it's out, it's more graphic and like popped open, but I really want it more snatched up today. When I worked at the makeup counters, people would try to do their liner like squint one eye and try to like pen on it. But if you put your mirror down here so that you're just looking down, then you're never really closing your eye. And then I think it becomes really easy. Also boldness. You don't want to do that thing where you go small and look in the mirror and then have to make it bigger and then look and then make it, because then you're doing it 6 times versus just doing it twice, you know. It just takes confidence. Like it just takes, I mean, we're taking black pen and putting it to paper and drawing one single shape. So it's just going to take like a little bit of conviction. Not confidence, but like conviction of like, well, we're doing this, you know. So this is the way this side turned out. And I'm going to take that woke color again, which is the lighter one. And that's what I'm going to use to just blend out the edges. I'm going to start putting on my brows. And everybody's brows are different. some of you are probably using your real brows, so you don't have to do exactly as I do it, but I'm just gonna show you how I do it. I take a small little angle brush, and I'm gonna take from this It's All Good palette. Some of you might have this, which, I mean, you could probably do this whole look using just this palette, really. And I've been using All About It because listen, in drag, I like a warmer brow. And I know for like real life brows, more ash is the vibe, but I like warm brows. Especially since I'm usually so blonde, I want it to be warm. Mm-hmm. So, and I lick the brush. I know that's wrong, but I'm gonna take All About It. And my eyebrows start in, okay, if this is the crease, which it's my forehead, but if it's the crease, my brows start in the crease. Like, they start like there. Because I want the vanishing point of where my eyebrow begins to be in the crease. Mm-hmm. So I'll go up and out like that. And that's gonna become my eyebrow. I'm gonna go right beneath this All About It color into this Goal Getter Girl. And it's a little darker. You guys are gonna, I feel like shading in real brows takes more time than drawing on fake ones, once you're good at drawing on fake ones. Because when it's all fake eyebrows, you're like, I have nothing to match. Like, I'm just doing whatever. So, and then I'm just gonna connect it. That's gonna be my eyebrow. I'll get a little closer. Do you see how the beginning of it is gonna join with the crease? I don't like a floating eyebrow. And then I'm just gonna take those two browns, and it's a gradient for me. I try to fill in the ends to be solid, like that. And then I take more of the brown, and this is where the detail comes in. We're not just filling in, we're doing little strokes, because I don't know, my makeup's so big and crazy. If we don't have little moments of definition like that, it just is too crazy. And that's gonna be my eyebrow. It doesn't look great now because we're gonna do concealer around it, but that's it. The less makeup on my face, the better. Like, if I can get really full coverage, but very thin layers of foundation, it stays better than if I'm wearing layers and layers of foundation. Which I don't understand why. I don't know the science of it, but like, I'm gonna use some concealers as foundation today, and I found using really sheer, like, full coverage liquid concealers on my face stays way better than like cream foundations ever did. And also, I'm 30, I have lines, and like, I don't need 10 minutes into a show to get like laugh lines or something. And I find that the really thin pieces of makeup stay better. So this is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. You know this one at the drugstore with the little sponge tip? Mm-hmm. This is what I've been using, and it's lit. So I took a concealer brush, I put some on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna start sketching around my eyebrows. There you go. Now that's an eyebrow. And again, it's an age rewind concealer, so you can tell that it's gonna be like good coverage, and let's be honest, it's gonna be made for women of a certain age who have probably more to cover. This is the Instant Age Rewind Eraser and Brightener, which is their lightest shade. And this one's like a light pink, so it's really light because it's meant to go on top of concealers, I think. But I just like use it as foundation. Anybody who's impossibly pale, I'm talking to you people in the UK who see one sunlight a year. They make one called Fair 00 that's literally white. Look at this. White. And this is gonna help me get super bright under the eye. Because I want my highlights to be highlights, but let's be honest, I want the under eye to be the brightest part of my face. And because my skin was so wet, my foundation that was a liquid still hasn't dried, so look at that.
So
blends right in.
Yeah.
I love liquid concealers. I mean, for drag, it's so easy too because I can keep a couple things like this, and I know I can do my whole face with like 4 of these. I mean, I love it. I have 2 of the Instant Age Rewind concealers. This one's in 148 Hazelnut, deeper shades. And this is where it gets wild, you guys. You could do this with creams. You could do it anywhere. This is where I'm literally gonna start drawing things on my face. So I do that to my forehead. You know, as I'm doing this in front of you all, I realize how stupid it is, but I'm just gonna commit to it. I'm gonna take the side of the sponge. Pat, 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 pat. Look at that. Whether I'm using a cream stick or a liquid or whatever, I like to put it on with the stick or the whatever, and then I like to use a sponge and bounce.
Okay.
Because if I'm drawing the shapes on my face, I don't want them to move. So I don't want a brush to shovel it around. I just want it to stay where it is. And I find if I can bounce it in one place, I know it's not moving. I'm doing this in the monitor. I'm not even looking in the mirror. I trust myself. I believe in myself. That's gonna be the shape of the cheek. I'm also gonna take a little bit more. This is 149, it's just a little bit deeper. And I'm gonna go right there. So that's gonna be what it's gonna be. And if I took a brush and started buffing it, it's gonna move. But I'm just gonna take this sponge and bounce it. And look at how that starts to join together without much effort. You know what I mean? Look at that.
Yeah.
And take the clean part of the sponge and kind of clean the other direction. Going back to that lighter colored concealer. I just drew it on. Take the brush. Actually, there's a better sponge for this. This Full Beat set comes with sponges that have more of like a hard line to it.
Yes.
Like this one, this complexion one has a hard edge. Can't really see it, but, and it's dry, which I love. I'm gonna take the concealer again, you guys, and then, I mean, you don't have to do this. I have a square jaw because I'm a man. I just trace it with the really light color.
You straight up just are that good at drawing a straight line. Okay.
Yeah, I just freehand it, and I like it to start at the bottom of my ear and end sort of like by my lips. Because I used to bring the contour in a lot farther, and now I focus more on bringing the highlight in, and then the contour here is kind of suggested, because I don't want a hard line here nowadays. So look at, here's the cheeks finished. We haven't powdered, but this is it. And I mean, for a lot of you, you have better shaped faces than me, so you don't even need to do all this heavy lifting. But it's time for me to go in and powder, so, and I like to set this with the shapes. So I'll do the cheek, I'll do under the eye. You know that setting powder thing where you pack it on where you want it to be lighter, but you don't pack it on like the contours? That's kind of what I'm doing. Before I continue, I forgot something. I have to do my nose. I'm gonna take this Age Rewind concealer and give myself a little stripe, nose stripe. So I put that down. It looks terrible because it's just a line, but I'm gonna go back in with the concealer, the deeper shade, and clean around it. I used to do my nose a lot darker, and I've kind of tried to like calm down a little bit with it. So guys, I just finished this nose. It's just a white stripe with brown around it. And I know that this is crazy, but if you guys look at my real nose, I have like a Richard Nixon, John Krasinski, like male nose. So I really am doing Egyptian hieroglyphics here to try to look okay. So now that I finished that, now I'm gonna powder the nose. And when you have this much makeup on, powder, you guys have probably all seen on Drag Race when the people are just fully face white because they're just covered in powder. That's really what I'm doing.
That's okay to go over everything that you just did?
Yep, everything, because my eyebrows are just eyeshadow and concealer, so like everything needs to be set. I'm kind of avoiding the red, the shadow, but wow, I really look awful, but this is what I look like. And then I'm just gonna brush the powder off. I'm gonna back up because I don't want to get powder all over the world. You guys can't see how much is like coming off my face, but it's a lot. It looks like everything pretty much brushed off. Now, I don't know about you guys, but usually at this point, the powdering process has accidentally removed some of the eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna go back in with take a sip and kind of like recolorize the crease. It's time to start doing some graphic white. So I'm gonna grab, if you guys have ever seen me do makeup before on YouTube, this is the NYX white liner. I basically am the worldwide spokeswoman of this white liner. I'm gonna get in here, but white on the brush, and this is our template. We can start sketching out this lid. It's not really a lid, but let's call it a lid. It feels dumb to call it my eyelid because it's on my forehead, but that's pretty much it. Hi, I'm just gonna pop in here for you guys. This is pretty much what's going on.
You look fabulous.
The white wraps around, and then the white. This is where the makeup works, is when you turn your head, this will be black liner, and it makes it look really cool. So you guys, I took the white and I also went under the brow. It's basically a white cream. You could be doing this with eyeshadow, but I find with the cream, it makes it really smooth. Like, look how good that looks. Oh, God, I'm incredible. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side.
Trixie, can I ask, are you going over the black liner with your white, or is it like underneath the black liner?
Well, because it's just a template, if I go over the line, it's not a big deal. Do you know what I mean? It's really just a placeholder. Because this makeup would be so much harder if you didn't have that black to give you a guide. So because we're gonna paint black over it, if you go over the line, it's really no big deal whatsoever. This makeup, I mean, you guys have seen like the older Trixie makeup. This one I sort of developed when I was getting ready to go on the grown-up tour because all the looks in that show are like super 60s, and the wig in that show is big, huge bangs. So I was like, how do I have makeup that works if the bangs go to like here? That's how I kind of figured it out. Wow, this is looking really good. Okay, I'm gonna switch to the black now. For the black, I'm gonna use Black Track Pro FLUIDLINE from MAC. It's not my favorite, it's just what I have. And I'm a big fan of use what you have. I think in cosmetics, we're all obsessed with like, you have to have the newest thing. It's always like, you forget how many things you have that are still good. So, because I have that black guide, I can just start to follow it, you know? I finished this liner, you guys. It's not hard because we did the template. And then I'm taking this brush and I'm starting to brush underneath. Now, we have that pen liner from earlier, that BFF liner, and that's what I used to get the point right. So you guys, I'm about ready to put lashes and lips on. So I'm just gonna show you guys, I'm taking a face powder. This is just a deep brown face powder, big fluffy brush. And I'm gonna start contouring the forehead a little bit. Isn't it crazy? Like, this is almost done.
No, it's crazy. The black really put it together.
Yeah, the black really makes it. This is the Black Track. Just, it's waterproof. You know, it's nice. And then for the cheeks, this is some real drag queen shit, and I don't know if everyone knows it. I'm sure people know it. I just take an index card, a credit card, an envelope, whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm sure everyone knows how to do this, but press it in. Here's some white face powder, by the way. This is Shivering White from MAC, just right under the eyes. So, by the way, I don't know if you guys can see my lashes. These are like 8 pairs of 301s stacked up. They're huge. And then you can tell, this is like 6 pair, and then there's little spikes. So you can see that I cut up another pair and I do the little ends. And you guys are gonna laugh. Watch. I just put them on. I wear mine in my crease, by the way. I'm just gonna show you guys really quick. Like, this is gross. Please nobody screenshot. You see my crease is in there. My lash is in my crease. Because this makeup is all eyeliner, so you can really like choose your own destiny with where you want to put lashes. By the way, on the bottom, these are just little 1 pair of lashes that I cut in half. And then I wear 1 half on each side. My least favorite part, I mean, if I could, I don't want to glue my eyebrows, or I don't want to shape my eyebrows, but I hate having to sit down and glue my eyebrows.
Yeah.
It's just so annoying. The part I love putting blush on. It never gets old to me. I just like scream when I put it on. I love it.
Yeah.
And it's the part of the makeup that like, if I touch anything up through the day, it's usually blush. So the lashes are on, the hair is on. Sorry guys, I know we're against the clock, so I'm starting to really cook it here. These are just my blushes from tour. These are, you kind of have to find them on the internet. So I love like K-Beauty, and this is a Korean blush brand called Lovely Cookie Blush, I believe. And they make all these wacko jacko like pastel colors. So this is like what I take on tour. And I'm just gonna take some of these like kind of pinky colors. I love really cool tone like lavender blushes like those. Because I'm really fair, and so sometimes I think pink blushes make my face red, but purpley blushes make my face like warm but not red. And then real quick too, I basically marry the contour to the highlight using blushes. Like that's what the middle is, and look how much better that looks than this side.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
I'm gonna start my lip liner. This is, I use 3 lip liners. I know that that's crazy, but this is what's happening. So I use a medium, a dark, and a light. And so this is a Edge to Edge from MAC. It's like a purple from Makeup Forever, and then like a pink. So I drew the shape with the middle one.
Okay.
This is the deepest shade. I use the deepest shade to do the corners. Do you see how the corners are deeper than the middle?
Yeah.
It's that little details, I think, that make a big difference. And then I'm gonna warm the middle using this light pink liner. This is something from the UK, MUA Makeup Academy. I think they have those at Boots and like Superdrug.
Yeah, it makes it really, it gives it the cartoon effect almost, the darker out.
Yeah, because my lips are so little. We're really like, this is crazy. So I find the 3 colors really round the edges.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new lipstick in a new formula. This is Modelle. Modelle's a new formula called Butter Glaze. And this is our first lipstick that's not full coverage. It's sheer, translucent, and it has like a pearlescent look to it. And it's called a butter glaze because it looks like a kind of dried glaze, but it feels slippery. Don't die. The shade is beautiful. It's called Modelle. And if you can see, it's a pink with blue shimmer. So you look like a glamorous fembot robot.
Love it.
Isn't that killer?
Everyone's saying it's gorgeous.
For like, I mean, this is more like if you're somebody who does a lot of eye makeup, but you don't want naked lips, that's what this looks like. Now I'm putting on over foundation, but I'm gonna swatch it on my arm so you guys can see. It's like a pink, and it has a blue sheen to it.
Love that.
Because we have so many bright full coverage colors. This is our first one that's a little more like, doesn't give you exactly a heart attack to wear it. This is a Kryolan UV. I don't know if they make this anymore because I don't think it's technically skin safe. But this is the Kryolan UV blush, and I changed my mind. I want full crazy. Pink it is. I love this blush. This is Melodrama, which is like a sheer pink purple. But this is pretty much the finished look, you guys. The only other thing I would do too is again the white, and I do the very tip of my nose because it just like, look at this stupid nose and then watch this. Like that's a big difference. By the way, this is that, I don't know if you guys saw my Wet n Wild video where I used that Mega Glow. No, this is actually from my first drugstore video. Look how deep the dig, like how deep into the pot I've used it. I use this all the time. This is like $3. Look at this, ready? Oh. Oh. I'm living. I can't believe this worked out.
You look so good, and everyone followed along. Thank you guys so much for coming. You guys, this is so much fun. Trixie, you're a ball. You know that. I was so excited to do this with you. Everyone, you look freaking amazing. Okay, guys, like I could never done that. That's why I didn't follow along. You guys look so good. Trixie, I'm still gagged that you finished this. in this amount of
Kind of
time.
am too. I mean,
Yeah.
that was like an hour. Follow me on YouTube because maybe we'll do a live sometime on YouTube. This is really fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Trixie,
much.
I love you so much.
I love you.
Love you.